Hey, ChemEdX. Dan Myers here, ChemEdX lead contributor based out of Portage, Michigan at Portage Central High School. Doing both, as I said in my last post, would be including a video update, just something I want to get into more. But here goes. So, we're in February. The Olympics are taking place. So by now, a lot of you, I'm sure, have been able to watch the Winter Olympics. If you're like me, you're able to draw similarities and relevance to what you're teaching in the classroom. For example, in the last week or two, my Chem 1 semester classes reviewed and went over accuracy and precision. Now, curling is a wonderful example of this. If you are trying to hit a target, that would be accuracy. If all of your stones hit the same area or the same color, that might be precision. So curling is great for that. Perhaps you've covered significant figures and limits of accuracy. We've covered that as well in our honors sections. And one thing you could do is discuss the difference in timing among the different sports, whether you're recording to the hundredths place or the thousandths place, and then be able to describe why you have that limit of accuracy. Maybe a couple of years ago, I think Doug Reagan out of Hudsonville High School, who also at the time was a lead contributor, he had posted an activity or part of a lecture that he gave to his classes on significant figures, and he brought up the difference in timing between stock car racing and swimming. So in stock car racing, which today's Monday, so yesterday was the Daytona 500, so very relevant. As the cars are going around the track, they are all going the same distance around the track. The distance doesn't change, and so their limit of accuracy is a bit better, and they're recording to the thousandths place. So sometimes cars, I think it was the second and third place finishers last night, came in nose to nose right at the finish, and it was very close, but they could get it down, I think, to the thousandth of a second to determine who wins. Now in swimming, you have perhaps 8 lanes, so 8 lanes there, and we're assuming that the length of each lane is the same, but that may not be the case because we have a rectangle, the shape of a pool. We're assuming it's a rectangle, but there could be something off, a fraction of an inch difference. And so in swimming, they're timing, I believe, to the hundredths place. So you have a little bit less accuracy in the length, so their timing is going to be different or less accurate. Maybe you teach physics, the physics of curling, like momentum, inertia, or ski jump, if we're talking trajectory and velocity. Maybe those would be relevant. So I'm curious, and you guys can leave a comment down below, but what other lessons from the Winter Olympics are coming to mind or have you brought up in class? And how might these lessons relate to NGSS? Now, a lot of folks are curious about that. A side note before I end, our district is revamping our level 1 core classes. So that means our level 1 chemistry, physics, biology 1 to an extent, earth science, especially as we look at Michigan state science standards and NGSS. We have new guidelines that we have to meet, which means that we are revamping our curriculum. I hope to share our journey and plans in the coming months as much as I am able. I did just post my abstract submission for BCCE this morning or afternoon, right around lunchtime. And the one I posted is about how we're revamping our chemistry curriculum and implementing Michigan science standards, which those of you that are not in Michigan, I think it'll still be quite relevant because we're looking at the difference between MSS and NGSS. And so something to keep in mind, disciplinary core ideas. I know I'm kind of rambling at this point and it's not all in the text on the post, but one thing we found in our work and our research the last couple of years is that a lot of folks were taking their existing curriculum and their activities and saying, well, this activity is now meeting the science and engineering practice X on NGSS. The problem is that that specific content area or topic is no longer included in the DCIs. So here in Portage, what we're aiming to do is to go after the content areas first, make sure that we've got that done and we have our curriculum set up correctly between our Chem 1 and our Chem 2 and how that looks for graduation requirements and state requirements. And then the SEPs, the science and engineering practices, come in afterwards because that involves our pedagogy and how we're teaching. So a little bit of a snippet there for what we've got coming. But I hope you guys have a great rest of February, and we'll talk next month. Thanks.